Welcome back. Canada's first people have passed down traditional teachings for thousands of years, and now students in the border city are tapping into the Aboriginal culture.
A program that began in September is bringing knowledge keepers into the classroom to share traditional Aboriginal culture.
The program is called CITL Skywewin. It means supporting youth in Cree, and it's created kind of to fill a gap that we had in our schools, both at Bishop Lloyd and at ES Laird, to kind of help provide cultural teachings to young men and young ladies in this important time in their life. It was created in partnership with the Lloydminster Friendship Centre, and together we've built programming to bring to our youth.
Students take part in the 1-hour sessions once a month to engage and develop an identity, confidence, and pride.
I think it's important for all of us to know who we are and know where we come from, and to provide the opportunity for students to kind of connect with that and also, whether Indigenous or not, to gain some perspective and gain some understanding that they can take that with them throughout their life.
The sessions have 36 boys and girls who have been gaining a vast knowledge in Aboriginal traditions.
What I learned is just a month ago, we learned about a turtle, and which represents us, and what happens every month in our life cycles, because it's called the circle of life on the turtle, the shell.
Just TP teachings and how to build it, how what poles go in which spot, and the teachings of each pole.
On May 26, Bishop Lloyd is planning an Indigenous Cultural Discovery Day for the entire school to learn about trapping, lacrosse, beading, and much more. Brittany Matika, Newcap News.
While Cancer Awareness Month is in October, one of the biggest support events takes place in early June. Relay for Life is the Canadian Cancer Society's biggest fundraiser, but has lost some support over the last few years in Lloyd. With more on the recruiting in the city, here's Nick Nielsen.
Last year, the Relay for Life raised $24 million across Canada, but that's down from the $46.5 million in 2013, and that decrease is being felt here in Lloydminster. The Canadian Cancer Society members in the community are trying to do a few different things to generate more interest, including the team from Synergy Credit Union.
Working together with the Lloydminster Relay for Life Committee, came up with the idea to challenge all the other financial institutions in Lloydminster.
The Canadian Cancer Society says that this decrease in participation is affecting more organizations than just theirs.
We've seen over, not with just our organization, but in nonprofit organizations across the country, numbers have been going down just because there's becoming more and more organizations out there. So people are starting to pick and choose a little bit more where the money goes.
Since Synergy has put its challenge in place, 4 other institutions have stepped up into the fundraiser, and hopes for this year are high.
Back 5 years ago, it used to be a really large event, and we just want to kind of see that again and get the support out there for everyone in our area.
The Relay for Life is getting closer as it takes place on June 3rd, but there's still time to register your team at ccsevents.ca. Nick Nielsen, Newcap News.
Well, come fall, a new program will be available to ES Laird students in grade 9. As Nicole Stilger tells us in this week's Beyond the Classroom, this class will provide a more hands-on learning experience.
A lot of them are looking to have fun, to see school in a different way.
That's the goal of ES Laird's new program called Eco 9, a class that was created based on student feedback.
They wanted a bit more out of class. They weren't quite getting their needs met, like the higher end students. So they wanted something a bit more challenging to push them a bit more.
Donald then paid a visit to schools in Saskatoon that run similar programs to establish a framework and tie it into the curriculum.
Instead of having like a grade 9 math class and a grade 9 English class and a science class and a social class and an IA class, we brought it all into one class together. So what we're doing is working on different projects and assignments that meet, instead of just one particular goal from one class, it's going to meet multiple goals.
2 of Donald's students are on board with this idea, already submitting their applications for next year.
It just sounded like more fun than just being in a desk and looking at a board and just being inside all day instead of being out in the community.
Instead of just sitting in a desk, we actually get to put our learning to use by building certain things and not just writing it on paper and doing a whole bunch of tests just randomly.
As for Donald, he hopes the hands-on element of the program changes students' perception of school.
So this gives them an opportunity to explore the concepts not just in the classroom out of a textbook or in notes, but to actually go out and visit a farm that might be using some of these curricular outcomes and see it in real life. I think will certainly benefit the school, the community, and I'll certainly have a lot of fun doing it.
The program needs 23 students to run and is currently accepting applications for fall. The deadline is May 26th. Nicole Stilger, Newcap News.
This is Newcap Sports.
Well, high school football is a big draw in the border city. So big, both local high schools are constantly working to have the upper hand when it comes to talent on the field. A big part of that is spring camp, and Lance Phillips was at the first outdoor day at Lloyd Comp's yearly tradition.
For a week, Lloydminster Comprehensive Football has been indoors, but Tuesday had its first opportunity on Armstrong Field. It was a day full of drills, with many watchful eyes on the grades 7 through 9 students hoping to make an impact for the Barons this year and beyond.
It was awesome. Yeah, the kids brought good energy, good effort, which is what we asked for, and yeah, I thought there's a lot of guys that we expected to be out here that were here, and yeah, really positive practice.
No, I think it went really well. There's a lot of great things that were out on the field, and there is some stuff we can be working on, but overall it was a fun day. It's fun to be out here day one and just having a blast out here.
Much of the success the Barons enjoy comes from programs leading up to high school. Lloydminster Minor Football provides a great foundation for skills, even though many of these players haven't played a down of high school ball.
I still feel like a rookie because it's first year, but I know I learned a lot from Red Dogs, and that's really going to help me.
Yeah, this year and the years coming up, I think we have a really strong group of kids who have played a lot of football, kids who have played, 6, 7, 8 years football coming into this, and then kids who are just trying it out for the first time, that big frames, really talented guys, and we hope that that'll translate to the football field.
One of those talented guys is returning player Garrett Musgrave. The senior quarterback is someone who will be critical to Barron's success in 2017, both on and off the field.
I think it's pretty important because it's showing that you have to be positive, you got to be a leader, you can't put people down, you got to be there if anyone needs you.
He'll be a huge asset for us, not only on the football field, but off it, in the classroom, in the hallways, all those sorts of things. So a really nice guy to have, and you wish you had about 15 of them on your team, but we have a few of them. It's nice.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.
Well, the Lashburn Lucky women's rugby team season is underway, and with only 5 returning players on the field, the team is focusing on creating a passion for the sport.
Lashburn has a roster of rookies who are primarily still learning the game. They have players as young as 12 years old out on the field up to national level athletes, with returning players stepping into leadership roles.
I have 5 returning players, so we're all leaders basically. So we're just taking all the little ones under our wings and trying to help them along.
Skramstad says that communication is the biggest issue on the field right now, but she is confident in the team's ability to improve.
Our goal really for our club is to just play to the best ability we can and be competitive and make sure everybody gets involved and loves the sport of rugby.
Coach Skramstad hopes to do more for his players than just teach them the game. He wants them to know that it could lead to further opportunities.
You can travel the world with rugby. We've gone to New Zealand, Barbados, Colombia, England. So if they come into the sport and they start seeing somebody that can travel around and play at a high level, they think that might be something they want to pursue and really get a passion for it.
The rugby culture is deeply rooted in Lashburn and has incredible support from the community, with 2 new fields being constructed. Brittany Matika, Newcap Sports.